I recently got an email from a father who's concerned that his daughter might not be smart because she's falling way behind in school. He's worried about where she might end up in life. Is there anything to be concerned about? Let's talk about it. Let me share this email with you. It's from Lane from Toledo. I recently went to a parent-teacher conference for my third grade daughter. The teacher told us that she's now about 2 years behind in her reading level. Does this mean that my daughter won't be smart? And if so, what can we expect her to be able to do with her life? Anything you can offer would be helpful because my wife and I are really worried about her future. Love the show. Thanks, Lane. First thing I'm going to tell you is breathe easy, my friend, because there are tons of kids who've gone on through the struggles and persevered and found their way to go on to be successful in whatever endeavors they wanted to do in life. You're actually looking at one, which is why I went into education, so I could help kids who were like me. So your question is actually something in my niche that I really, and I won't say I'm an expert at, but I've got a lot of experience working with tons of kids through the years. The good news is what we find time and time again, one of the key pieces to help kids get over these humps so they can start to accelerate growth and develop at a faster pace and get caught up is their family that cares. The support system that's behind them makes a huge difference. And so the fact that you're reaching out and you're going to parent-teacher conferences says a lot about you and your wife, and you're all in, you're fully invested, and that puts your daughter in a really good place. Like I said, I've worked with a lot of kids through the years who have overcome challenges. I'm going to give you one quick story. When I was teaching fifth grade many years ago, I had a young man in my class. The very first week of school, his parents came to meet with me. His mother broke down in tears. The father was really distraught because the same concerns that you're talking about, they had. And they were worried what their son was going to go on to do with his life. Well, I'm happy to tell you, that young man blossomed. We had to build some confidence into him. We had to help him understand he had some real strengths. And once he developed confidence, he was able to attack some of those areas that he was not feeling so great about, and he went on to do amazing things. And he's currently a sports trainer living in North Carolina. Super proud of that kid. And just like you'll be super proud of your daughter when she overcomes some of these challenges that she's facing. I am going to talk about a few helpful tips if your child is struggling in school or for any challenges in particular, but I want to share this with you first. Just last week, I talked with my college students about Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. That makes me sound like a professor, right? I get it. That's a mouthful. But here's what it is. Intelligence comes in so many different packages. Just the word smart makes us all think about book smarts or, are you great at science? Are you great at reading? Can you write? All those things that you do in school. But intelligence goes way beyond it. You can be smart in music. You can be smart in math. You can be smart in crafting, in art. There are all kinds of different various things that you could do and do well in your life. And those things actually unlock some secret messages for kids who are struggling. So for example, if we have a boy who's struggling in reading, similar to your daughter, but maybe he's got a mechanical brain and he could tear an engine apart and put it back together, but he struggles when it comes to reading and writing, what's the approach to help that young man? Well, we're going to make sure he understands he's got some strengths, and we're going to keep pumping him up with that, and we're going to make sure he knows that, and we're going to try to build that confidence level because the next piece is super important. You want him to then have enough confidence to try to work on the areas that he's not feeling so great about. Because honestly, none of us will gravitate towards the things that we struggle with. Instead, we all run away the other direction. So what do we do to help your child start to get to the point where they're comfortable enough that they can work on some of these challenges? Well, that's not an easy answer, but here's a couple things that might help. First, you need to support them and build them up, because this is going to tear them up internally. If they haven't gotten to the point yet, they soon will, where they start to realize, I'm behind some of these other kids. And that is hard. Even if your daughter or your son doesn't tell you, they're thinking it. And that can be really challenging. So you need to be the support system. Give them pats on the back. Give them plenty of praise. Build them up internally by telling them, keep going. It's okay if you don't get 100% on every test. It's okay if you're facing some challenges and it's not easy. We want you to know either way we love you and you're getting better and we're proud of the work that you're putting in. So support them and build them up. Again, we're trying to move towards confidence building. Next, understand you don't have to go at this alone. You want to lean on the school. Work hand in hand with the school to try to figure out what's the best plan forward for your child. Hopefully, they're developing some intervention plans. This is kind of in my wheelhouse because before I went to work at the college level, I spent many years supporting an entire school district by leading interventions for their district. And what I found was if we can target some of the areas that kids struggle with, they're going to be more likely to hit some accelerated growth. So work hand in hand with the school to try to make sure that you're doing your part and they're figuring out the best plan forward and you're communicating back and forth about anything that's happening. And speaking of communicating, you want to make sure that you let them know if you're doing something outside of school. And you say, well, how are we going to do that? Well, it's maximizing your time. If your daughter is involved with 18 different activities, time is going to be of the essence. So you've got to figure out when are some opportunities when you can sit down and work on some extra skills with them. Now, working on extra skills might just be, let's sit down and read a book together and let's talk about what we read. It doesn't have to be like over the moon, your child is grinding through tutorial sessions with you. It's little small things that mean a lot. Communicate that with the school though, so they know the kinds of things you're doing at home. So maximize the time that's available and don't create more stress on your child who's already struggling internally with their confidence. And last but definitely not least, and this is the hardest one probably, you got to be patient because development takes time. You want your child to catch up, you want it to happen immediately, and I get that. But if you support your child, you build them up, you maximize your time, you work with the school, slowly and steadily, your child's got a good chance of catching up over time. So Lane, to answer your question, is there hope for your child? Absolutely there is. She could go on to do unbelievable things that you don't even think she's capable of yet, but you give her time, you give her a good support system like you've already got, and you work with the school, she's going to start to catch fire, and then look out, because she's really going to get some accelerated growth and go on and do amazing things. If you like this video, you're going to like hearing about the 18 hard lessons I've learned as a dad. If you want to go deeper in kinds of conversations we have here about all things fatherhood, check out the audio version, Dad's Only Podcast.